Good morning. Good morning, Alma. Good morning, Cindy. How is everyone doing today? Good morning, Raquel. It's Monday. It is indeed. It is indeed Monday. Oh, man. And all that entails or implies. I hope everyone had a good weekend as well. I had a good weekend. Got to hang out with some friends. Got to walk around the mall for the first time in a while. We were talking about how mall culture has sort of died, but the one that's not terribly far from us is still alive and kicking, and so that was fun. Yeah, it was a good weekend. It's a good weekend. You're welcome. We are solidarity here, Cindy. Solidarity. Okay. I think today, we are reading Psalm 58. I am reading from this volume, Psalms of the Bible, published by Holman. How was your weekend, Raquel? It has all the Psalms from the CSB and the KJV. How was your weekend? Oh, goodness. I'm wearing these press-on nails. Cleaning the house. I do need to do that. And I think I am just going to resign myself to the fact that cleaning my house like a good, thorough. I mean, it's maintained, but I need to do some thorough cleaning. And I don't think that's going to happen until after I get back from vacation in 2 weeks. So, and that's okay because I have other things to do. But cleaning the house, that's a great weekend project. Okay, so Psalm 58, a cry against injustice for the choir director. Do not destroy, a miktam of David. I'm sorry, I'm just like pressing it against my face. I'm trying to like depuff. Sorry. I'm just doing a little depuffing here. Okay. Verse 1. Do you really speak righteously, you mighty ones? Do you judge people fairly? No. You practice injustice in your hearts. With your hands, you weigh out violence in the land. Good morning, Darlene. The wicked go astray from the womb. Liars wander about from birth. They have venom like the venom of a snake, like the deaf cobra that stops up its ears, that does not listen to the sound of the charmers, who skillfully weave spells. God, knock the teeth out of their mouths. Lord, tear out the young lion's fangs. May they vanish like water that flows by. May they aim their blunted arrows. Like a slug that moves along with slime, like a woman's miscarried child, may they not see the sun. Before your pots can feel the heat of the thorns, whether green or burning, he will sweep them away. The righteous one will rejoice when he sees the retribution. He will wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. Then people will say, yes, there is a reward for the righteous. There is a God who judges on earth. That was pretty intense. The whole time I was reading that, I just thought, we all know, we're all very aware that justice is not always served um, in various ways, in various situations. Justice is not always served. People don't always suffer the consequences of their actions. And in terms of um, just, I was going to say getting what they deserve, but what I'm trying to say is when people don't suffer the consequences of their actions, oftentimes that means they'll just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. There's no accountability, that kind of thing. So not in terms of like malicious, I want you to suffer, in that way, but just like, can people please learn their lesson, you know? So that doesn't always happen. But what we do have is the assurance that when all is said and done, that when the Lord sets everything to right in the end, justice will be served. And in that psalm, you can feel the intensity of the desire for people to get their just reward. Like the language is it's intense because injustice it causes so much havoc and it causes so much pain, and people suffer. Therefore, the reaction is intense. So anyway, that was Psalm 58. That's kind of a heavy note to start on, but it's just a reminder that we serve a God who does not like injustice, and praise him for that. Praise him for that. Good morning. It's funny that you walked into the cleaning conversation. You made yourself clean off your desk before signing on. Very nice. I do need to clean off my desk. I have 2 desks, and both of them need to be straightened out. Definitely. All right, let's talk about priorities. Actually, no. Last time I forgot to do our icebreaker question. So let's do an icebreaker question. Good morning. All right, this is an interesting, not like novel, but this is an interesting question. What is a skill you learned when you were young that you still use today? What is a skill you learned when you were young that you still use today? And young is relative. Like, you can define young however you want. I don't know. What did I learn when I was young that I still use today? I mean, like everything. I learned to read when I was young and I still use it today. Is there anything like not mundane? Let's see. I don't know. There are things that I definitely can't do anymore. Like, I learned how to stand on my head. I probably still could, but I don't anymore. Let's see. You learned to crochet at 8 years old. I learned how to use a sewing machine when I was young. My mom taught me how to use a sewing machine, and I still do that today. How about that? Thank you for saying that, Darlene. You used to crochet, or you learned to crochet at 8 years old. Nice. Anybody else? What did you learn when you were young that you still use today? Spanish. Very nice. I did learn some Spanish when I was young. I learned, I don't use it very often because I don't do it very well. I still have a lot to learn. Of course. I'm at the last spread of my typing. Yes, I learned that when I was young. Still do it today. That's a good one. Last spread of the month, which means this week I need to print another weekly booklet for my planner. Print weekly booklet. I need to okay, so top 3 priorities. Fold a fitted sheet. Yes. My parents taught me how to fold a fitted sheet when I was young. That's right. I always find it, they're they're not as easy to fold as a flat sheet, right? But I always find like the jokes around folding a fitted sheet to be amusing, because it really isn't that hard. I do get that it's more, difficult. But once you get the hang of it, it's not that hard. Writing, yep, same. Yep. I started keeping a notebook, like a diary type notebook when I was probably 12 or 13. By 12. And yeah, that's something that I carried into adulthood. Washing dishes, same. And I don't think I enjoy them any more than I did when I was a kid. I still don't enjoy washing dishes. Oh, man. Okay, so keep your answers coming if you haven't yet. Let's see. Paper. I'm trying to write paperwork in an abbreviated fashion. I kind of messed that up. Okay. Priorities for the week. Let me check to see what I did last week. I did do this. Okay. I did not do that, but that's okay. I did do this. I had a lot of work on my website last week. Okay, this week, you don't enjoy dishes either. I do them, obviously, because you have to do them, but it's not something I relish. I don't look forward to it. All right, last week of August, you all. What are we doing in this last week of the month? It's also the last, no, it's not. July, August, September. It's not the last week of the quarter. We're coming into the last month of the quarter. But the last week of the month, I need to, let's see. Okay. Okay, so evaluate. So we're going on vacation in 2 weeks, and I need to make sure this week that I know what we might need for vacation so that next week, if there are any like last minute purchases, I don't want to be like scrambling, you know? You started folding fitted sheets, then you start to fold fitted sheets, then you just roll them up because they never come out right. It is a skill. Like I'm not denying it's a skill. I guess because I learned it at a young age, I don't think twice about it. But it definitely is a skill. And it is harder than a regular flat sheet. And guess what? They're your linens. If you want to roll them up, by all means. By all means. I think that the most important thing is that your linens are clean. Nobody's coming to check if they're folded. You know? All right. Okay, Cindy. Website, create new finance planner, and content batching. Good. Very good. I was talking to my brother about what I'm leaving behind on vacation, and I said, I'm not bringing my planner. Not bringing my planner because I have nothing to schedule on this trip. A fact for which I'm very grateful. So I'm not even gonna. I say that because I'm thinking about planners, obviously, because we're about to head into planner season, but at the same time, I get 1 week where I don't have to think about that. And I'm really excited. Oh man. Okay, so I need to evaluate what we need to pack, like what we have. Do we have, clothes? Do we need to buy anything in that category? We're gonna need to get some toiletry stuff, just packing. I need to make a packing list. That's what I need to do. Packing list. I still have some website stuff to do. And then and Club 119 site stuff to do. And then I'm just doing all the same stuff I've been doing all month, basically. Yeah. Prep, because I'm not going to do it next week. Oh yeah, there's another one. Songs prep. I was in the middle of a sentence and I forgot what I was saying. Packing list, prep. Oh yeah, okay. Material. I need to make some juice. I made some juice last week, I think. It was so good. I need to make some more. Yeah, I need to do that too. Made some lemon orange ginger shots. So good. So good. It was ginger, turmeric, oranges, and lemons. Woo! They'll wake you up. Really great. Okay, Andrea, let's see. Website, content planning and execution. Okay. Turn off TV by 8 o'clock and read before bed. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I filled out several things on my regular to-do list, but I have one more to do in my top 3. I don't know how to phrase this, but like I have yeah, let's do this. Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right. Your September budget. Great. Schedule social media posts for a client next month. Nice. Pick September books from your long list of books on your TBR. I get it. I have to decide what books I'm bringing on vacation. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, did I spell that right? I did not spell that right. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's embarrassing. I knew that didn't look right. At least I knew it didn't look right. Okay. There we go. All righty. So let me tell you what I'm doing. I need to evaluate, like I said, our packing needs so that I'm making sure I'm not scrambling at the last minute before we leave. I have some website and Club 119 stuff to still work on. And then I'm prepping some planner-ish and Bible journaling note stuff for YouTube and Club 119. So I need to prep some stuff because I'm trying to get something released before I get on vacation. Anyway, so those are my 3 things. That's all I'm going to say about that. Those are my 3 things. And then I have just a laundry list of things that I need to get done as well. I need to make that payment. Did I make them? I did that. I did not do that. Okay, so we have, make sure I make that payment. And then I need to make sure. Okay. Send that in. And I need to make sure I do that. Okay. Yeah. That should be good. Okay. And then let's see. I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, and I already said that. Okay, I need to print my monthly. And then I need to, Monday's the 1st. Oh, good grief. Okay, we'll keep going. Anyone a happy planner and looking forward to fall line reveal this week? I did not know that Happy Planner was revealing their fall line, but that sounds about right. It's that time. Man, I need to stay away. Oh, I need to stay away. But is anybody else a happy planner? Happy planner. Because they're launching their fall line. And that's really exciting. I love planner season. It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. On that note, thank you for saying that. On that note, Power Sheets is releasing their covers this week. So, or Cultivate is releasing their covers this week. So tomorrow, the 26th, they are releasing their Power Sheets covers, and then on the 27th, they are releasing their season by season covers, and then on the 28th, they are releasing their accessory collection. So that will be exciting as well. And then that's all gearing up for their September 16 launch of everything. So I will be right back in the country just in time for that. Awesome. Okay. So planner season. Is anybody else using something else? Do we have, let's see. You are trying Erin Condren. Erin Condren is where I started out. Erin Condren was my first like luxury planner after like a cheap Walmart academic planner when I was in school. So Erin Condren was my first. I remember being so excited because I had it like personalized. I think it was the planner I was using when I was dating Steven. And so, yeah, I was working my job, I was in school, and I was dating my husband. And yeah, Erin Condren is where I started out. What else we got? So we have Erin Condren planners. We have happy planners. You have a happy planner for faith journaling. Nice. A horizontal for faith journaling. Very nice. You always like the soft cover. Very cool. I mean, the brand and this is true of so many brands, right? The brand has just expanded and grown since I used it over a decade ago, way over a decade. Oh no, about a decade ago. So really neat stuff. Really, really neat stuff. Anybody else using anything else? You've tried them all over the years, but want to find something that feels right for this year. I understand. I definitely understand. I've tried many as well. Not all, but many. And so far, I've really been loving my Traveler's Notebook. But then I have some periphery pieces, but this is my main jam. You also use Power Sheets. Love it. You're waiting patiently for the reveals, but you like you like Erin Condren. Got it. You love Erin Condren. You've been planning to struggle for 2 years, finally found a system that works. Yeah, I have some theories about Planner Peace, some of which I will be sharing in the near future. And while I definitely think that there's no one size fits all answer, and I would have like recommendations if I was sitting with somebody and they were like, well, I like this and I like that, and these are my needs, right? These are the kinds of things I'm trying to keep track of. I might have some recommendations based on their season and their lifestyle and their and just their personality. But then I think there are some things that everybody sort of needs to have an awareness of, or kind of a grip on, that has nothing to do with what kind of book you use. And that's something I'll be sharing, something I'm working on, that I'll be sharing in the next few weeks. But I do love that the planner community is so varied because there are so many options, and everybody can, even if it takes a little bit of time, can find something that will work best for them. So that's really fun. I can't wait either, Luann. It's something I've been working on for a while, and I'm hoping to get it done soon so I can share it. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, let's talk. Let's see. We got our plans set, such as they are. And let's talk books. Let's talk books. Give me 3 colors. I'm going to try not to move my desk so we do not have an internet issue like we did last time. Let's see if I can get all of my shelves in view. And I don't think that was moving my, an issue of moving my computer. It felt like that, which was really weird. And it might have been, this is what happened last week, but also we had some internet connection issues. I had some internet connection issues last week, and then it turns out I just needed to update my computer. So that could have been the problem too. So hopefully, we don't run into that. Okay, give me some colors. Any color suggestions? And we'll pull some recommendations. For anyone who's new, I do organize my bookcases by genre and then color. And so we, because I own several books and I have not read them all, I do like to share what I call soft recommendations, which just means I may have read this, I may not have read it. If not, I can softly or gently recommend it because it's on my shelf and I'm interested in it, but it's not a full recommendation because I have not actually read it, so I can't fully vet it, right? So just take that with a grain of salt. That's what a soft recommendation means to me. Yellow. Let's see what we can find. I need 2 more colors at least to give me some options. Some options. Let's see. That one's kind of niche. We'll try that. Black and white. Red and yellow, black and white. That's the first thing I thought. Let's see. That is very niche. Let's see. We have done that. Just a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna. Erin Condren is currently having their warehouse sale. Ooh. Oh, that's tempting. That is tempting. Okay. Till I'm a little bit stronger. I am wearing my workout clothes because I plan to work out after this. Nobody asked. I'm just letting you know. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Oh, that is so sad. Interesting. All right, I feel like I need one more to like round out this list. I don't know if we've talked about that, so let's do that one. Okay, I've got a few. I've got a few. Whoa! I almost fell off my stool. Mercy. Okay. Yellow. Cindy K said yellow. I have this random book. I don't even know where I got it, to be honest. So I don't know how available it is. But this might be a sign to maybe find a book like this, or maybe do some looking into this particular topic. So this is called Immunity Boosting Foods. I feel like I may have picked this up at like Five Below or something like that. It just seems like that kind of book, but it has a lot of great information in terms of what are foods that are immunity supportive. So 80 plus superfoods and nutrition hacks to reverse inflammation, prevent illness, and boost your immunity. And I was just thinking when I saw it on the shelf that, we're coming into the winter season, at least for those of us in the States, and that can mean a lot of different things, right? Exactly. Perfect for fall and winter. And especially since a lot of us potentially, I'm not trying to like lump everybody into the same category, obviously, but a lot of people might be dealing with things like inflammation, and all of our immune systems, I'm sure, could use a boost. So this one I really find helpful in terms of organization because it talks about eating the rainbow. My grandmother would always say that your plate should be full of all different kinds of colors. And so let's see. Immune response underpins everything from chronic health conditions such as diabetes and heart disease to warding off the common cold to how well one ages. Studies have shown that nutrition impacts immunity and disease development. The bottom line, what you put on your plate can heal you or hurt you, which that's basic information, right? The key to eating for immunity, follow the rainbow. The 100 included superfoods are organized by primary benefits and bionutrients, which corresponds to food color. Who knew? So if you're trying to reverse inflammation, it says that red foods like cherries and pomegranates would be what you're looking for. If you want to support detoxification, then green foods like kale and broccoli. Power boost of antioxidants, then you're looking for blue and purple foods. Looking to build a healthy microbiome and digestion, then yellow foods like lemons and pineapples can heal and nourish your gut. If your hormones are out of balance, try incorporating orange foods such as carrots and cantaloupe. So obviously it's not as like simple. That's not the word I want. Not to oversimplify it. You can't just like eat an orange and then like all of a sudden your hormones are in balance, but just understanding what kinds of foods can support different things along with, other healthy choices and lifestyle choices and that kind of thing. This is a lot of just good information on that. A lot of our health and the way we don't feel 100% relates to the food that we eat. Absolutely. Absolutely. Food is fuel, right? And if you're not fueling your body correctly, then she's not going to perform correctly. So anyway, immunity boosting foods. If not this particular book, then find another resource that will help educate you in this area. It's by Donna Baden Mazzola. She is creator of Dr. Autoimmune Girl. So maybe that's somebody we can find online. I don't know. But yeah, this is your cue to maybe looking into some fun education on food. It's not a diet. It's not a diet. This is not about, and I'm glad you said that. It's not about like, I don't like my body the way it is, or I hate the way my body is, and I don't like it, and I want to change the way it looks. This is more about, even though that might be the case, I don't love the way my body looks right now, but I don't hate my body. I want to strengthen my body and do the best for my body so that I can do my best work, so that I can live well, right? But not out of being disgusted and or ashamed or whatever. We need to reframe even our dissatisfaction, because you can be dissatisfied with a state you might be in, but frame it in a way by saying, I actually can make better choices for myself, and I want to make better choices for myself, because my body deserves better choices. And it's not about like, and again, I'm trying to be careful with general statements. Some of us have health issues that we're dealing with, limitations, different capacities, challenges, so on and so forth. So I don't want to make blanket statements that are too broad. But we can at least start with one better choice, and then another better choice, and then another better choice, you know? Good morning, Leonie. You love a colorful plate, so generally intentional about that for yourself and your family. Yeah, it's important. It's important. Good stuff. Okay, did I ever actually recommend Paul's Paul? N.T. Wright's book on Paul. Did this ever, like, it's been on my shelf to recommend, or on my brain to recommend, if black was ever chosen as a color, and I just don't know if I ever did. Did we ever get here? Because I can't remember. This is N.T. Wright's work on the Apostle Paul. It's a biography. You don't have it on your list? Okay. Well, I haven't had this for too terribly long, so. Okay, for centuries, Paul, the apostle, who saw the light on the road to Damascus and changed dramatically from zealous Pharisee persecutor to devoted follower of Jesus, has been one of the church's most widely cited early teachers. Excuse me. Yet, for leading New Testament scholar and Anglican bishop N.T. Wright, most Bible scholars and pastors have not fully grasped what Paul was actually doing and why. In focusing on Paul's letters and theology, Wright argues they have, in short, overlooked the essence of the man's life and the extreme unlikelihood of what he achieved. In response, Wright offers a new way of understanding one of the most famous Christian figures. Wright draws attention to Paul the man who survived assassination attempts, imprisonments, and shipwrecks, all while inventing new language and concepts for faithfully translating Jesus' story for the Gentile world. There are a couple of, and thank you, Darlene, words that Paul sort of coined or used that aren't anywhere else in scripture. And I think there's at least one that doesn't exist in just the language of the time. So when he's talking about like inventing new language, Paul was he was so highly educated. He was able to take language and create, be able to express theology and ideas in a way that nobody else had ever done, So the man was just incredibly gifted. In this pioneering new account, Wright celebrates Paul's humanity, arguing that this is the best context for understanding him, and ultimately for appreciating how he invented new paradigms for how we understand Jesus. The problem, Wright explains, is that while Paul is central to any understanding of early Christianity, we cannot understand him without taking full account of the pre-Christian Jewish beliefs and hopes that he had. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. We cannot understand him without taking full account of the pre-Christian Jewish beliefs and hopes that he believed had been fulfilled in Jesus. Only when we consider Paul in this manner can we move on to understanding how he led the way for Christianity to conquer the Roman world. So it's a bit of a long one. I was looking for this for a while, and finally bought it. Ooh, the receipt is still in here. Finally bought it. What? I've had this for a year? Yeah, I guess so. That went by fast. That went by so fast. I bought it almost to the day. I bought it a year ago yesterday. Secondhand. I finally found a secondhand copy. Because I wanted one, but I didn't want to pay full price. So I was holding out for a secondhand copy, a nice one when I found it. It's 464 pages, but it comes highly recommended. So if you're looking for work on Paul and you are ready for a longer read, then there's one. Okay, so I have 3 options for white. It is currently free. Yes, you can get it on Kindle Unlimited. I did while I had Kindle Unlimited, I did have it. And that was a while ago. So hopefully it'll be around for a while. So if you do have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, check it out because you can get it. I'm sure you can also get the audiobook, maybe through your library. I'm not sure if there's an audiobook. There should be, right? I would imagine. So that's something to check out. Thank you so much for saying that, Luann. Appreciate it. Okay, I don't remember if we've done this, but you know what? I'm not even gonna go there. Let's do a story. This is called The Known World. I don't remember where I picked it up. I don't remember when I picked it up, but it's been on my shelf for a while. The cover is reminding me of The Grapes of Wrath, John Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath, but it's nothing like that. So it won a Pulitzer Prize, and it's written by Edward P. Jones. Edward P. Jones, The Known World. And here is our description. Let's see. In one of the most acclaimed novels in recent memory, Edward P. Jones, 2-time National Book Award finalist, tells the story of Henry Townsend, a Black farmer and former slave who falls under the tutelage of William Robbins, the most powerful man in Manchester County, Virginia. Making certain he never circumvents the law, Townsend runs his affairs with unusual discipline. But when death takes him unexpectedly, his widow, Caldonia, cannot uphold the estate's order, and chaos ensues. In a daring and ambitious novel, Jones has woven a footnote of history into an epic that takes an unflinching look at slavery in all of its moral complexities. The Known World. National bestseller, winner of the Pulitzer. Yeah, so sounds really interesting. Oh, I got it at Half Price Books for $2. So anyway, and that is a White Spine recommendation. Also, I don't remember. I'll add this in there just because I pulled it. I probably have recommended this before, but it's Jodi Picoult's Small Great Things. It also has a White Spine, and that's why I pulled it. This one I have read, and it was really good. It's about a labor and delivery nurse. Let's see. She begins a routine checkup on a newborn, only to be told a few minutes later that she's been reassigned to another patient. The parents are white supremacists and don't want Ruth, who is African American, to touch their child. So Ruth is the L&D nurse. The hospital complies, but the next day the baby goes into cardiac distress while Ruth is alone in the nursery. Does she obey orders or does she intervene? So she's been told she can't touch the child by the parents, but then the baby needs help. It's an emergency. What does she do? Ruth hesitates before performing CPR and as a result is charged with a serious crime. Kennedy McQuarrie, a white public defender, takes her case, but Kennedy insists that mentioning race in the courtroom is not a winning strategy. Conflicted by Kennedy's counsel, Ruth tries to keep life as normal as possible, especially for her teenage son. As the trial moves forward, Ruth and Kennedy come to see that what they have been taught their whole lives about others and themselves might be wrong. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been several years since I've read it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was really good. So anyway, if you're looking for a compelling premise, that one might be for you. And our neighbor's dog is in our yard again. Hello. He's really cute. He's like some kind of terrier situation. He's so cute. And he's like this big and he needs to get out of our yard. Anyway, okay, there are our recommendations. How are we doing? Okay, it's time for some challenges. Also, quick note, this is something that I've seen several times come across my feed, and I know I should have been doing it forever. I just never did. But they say, I don't remember if we've talked about this, but they say that when you buy secondhand books, you should put them in the freezer. And I know that's the recommendation. I know that's the wisdom, but I just never did. Finally, last week, I got some books shipped. I bought some secondhand books online and they arrived, and I was like, you know what? This time I don't know where they came from. Like at least, and when you buy secondhand books, you don't know where they came from because you don't know what household or what situation they were in before they were at the store. But at least at the store, I sort of have a point of connection, But when you buy them online, you just don't know at all. And so I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do the freezer thing. So I bought Ziploc bags that were the 2-gallon size, so I could fit more in there. And those books are in the freezer. They've been in the freezer since Friday. I'm going to take them out today. I think they say about 2 days is the recommendation, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I finally did the freezer thing. And I need to do it every time I buy thrifted books. And I haven't had a problem yet with all the thrifted books that I own, but you also don't ever want there to be a problem. So yeah, and I'm even thinking, like, should I just go through my library and and do it with all my thrifted books? I think I can tell which ones are and which ones aren't, but who knows? I'm not sure if I should go back retroactively and do it, but we'll see. Anyway, I have some books to take out of the freezer today. Okay. Let's do some challenges. Any Friends fans out there? Do you remember the episode where Rachel puts the book in the freezer? That's what it's reminding me of. Okay. I won't say any more in case, because I don't like to give spoilers for shows. Just in case. I'm that friend's friend. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I love that episode. I don't remember anything else that happened in that episode except for the exchange between Joey and Rachel, where she's reading. Again, I don't want to spoil it. You never know who might still want to watch the show, so I try to be just cognizant of that. But when Joey and Rachel are both reading their respective books, and yeah, the exchange about Joey hearing spoilers about the book that he's reading, and it's hilarious because the book he's reading is one of my favorite books, and just like, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else. Okay, here we go. And obviously the reason why Rachel puts the book in the freezer is completely different than why I'm putting books in the freezer. Also, it was very weird. I went to pull some food on Friday night from our deep freeze, and it was really weird pulling, opening my deep freeze and then finding like 2 great big gallon bags of books in my deep freeze on top of like veggies and whatever else I've got in there. It's funny. Okay, you're going to start watching from season 1 soon. Listen, my brother, who is also a fan, he gifted me the DVD set for Christmas, and I need to restart it. My husband and I started watching it because he had never watched the show. We started watching it. We had both gotten, back during COVID days, we had both gotten sick at the same time. And so we were sick in bed, and we started watching, but we never finished it. So anyway. Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. Let's do that. Ooh, let's do that. That one will relate to the immunity conversation. Oh, let's do that one too. Okay, here we go. Is anybody else a rewatcher? I know some people don't reread, some people don't rewatch. I am a rewatcher and I'm a rereader. There are a select number of books that I will reread in order to get myself out of a reading slump. And then there are certain shows that are like comfort shows for me where it's just you don't have to there's not a whole lot of effort in watching it. It's just like it just feels good, right? So if you are one of those, let me know what you like to rewatch or reread. What you like to rewatch or reread. Friends is one of those for me. Frasier is another big one for me. I can't tell you how many times I've watched that show all the way through. But let me know if you're a rewatcher or a rereader, or if you're not. Like, do you just not because it was good the first time and you're on to, better things? No shame there. I totally understand that. Totally understand that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so some challenges for us. This is in regards to health. So, two things you can do. These are defining exercises. Number one is to define what good health means to you. Define what good health means to you. Spend a few minutes brainstorming and then write it down somewhere where you can see it each day. So that might be something you pop in your planner or on your fridge or on your mirror or whatever. Define what good health means to you. And then adjacent to that or connected to that would be define your why for moving toward and maintaining good health. So define what it is and then define why you want to maintain good health. Again, you are in charge of that definition and you are in charge of what that looks like for you. Write it down somewhere you can see it every day. This will keep you motivated in the long term, especially as we are getting into, I'm looking over because I've got a wall calendar in the next room, but especially as we're ending a month, we're getting into the last, month of a quarter, and then we're going to be entering into the fall and winter seasons. If you have any particular health goals, kind of getting a jump on that might be helpful. So I'm going to do these two, and then this is a little different, but if you feel jealousy or comparison sneak in today or this week, see if you can turn those feelings into congratulations, celebrations, or gratitude. So if you're seeing somebody doing something and you're like, ah, man, and you're comparing or you're feeling jealous, then flip the script on that one and see how you can turn it into congratulations, celebration, or gratitude, which is really great. Let's see. What do we have? Heartland. I've never seen Heartland. There's no reason. I just haven't gotten around to it. Gilmore Girls is your rewatcher. I finally watched Gilmore Girls for the first time 2 years ago, maybe, or last year. When was it? I finally got around to it. I have very strong feelings about Gilmore Girls in terms of, how everybody says, like, don't watch past season whatever. Oh my god. I don't love everything that happens past season, whatever it is. I do think I'm going to rewatch it though, because it is a fall show. It is such a fall show. So I know like that whole meme that, or that whole like thing that happens around, like pumpkin spice season. It's a thing. There's something about, I don't know. There's just something about, the theme song and the whole feel and the small town feel. It's just lovely. It's lovely. And I love me some Luke and Lorelai. So, okay. Let's see. Anne of Green Gables, 100,000% Anne of Green Gables, 100,000%. I'm actually watching it with a friend. We need to finish it. She'd never seen it before. She'd read all the books. And she and I need to finish the second and the third. Let's see what else we got. At least once a year. Yeah, you know what? Anne of Green Gables is definitely one of those once a year things. Anne of Green Gables is a reread. It's a reread for me too. So it's a rewatch and a reread for you. You're not a rereader, but you are a rewatcher. You've never watched Frasier. You need watch Frasier. I think it's some of the best, most clever comedy. It's a sitcom, so it's ridiculous too, in some ways, but it's supposed to be kind of ridiculous. But I think it's some of the most clever comedy um, that came out of that era, and it's funny and it's timeless. It's timeless. So yeah, definitely watch Frasier. Let's see. The Twilight Zone. I don't think I've ever seen an entire episode of The Twilight Zone. Interesting. Rewatches Anthony Gables. Anthony Gables. Prince Edward Island is on my bucket list too. June or July. Okay. Interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind. Okay. Gilmore Girls. Once you do it as a habit, you'll find that you experience the comparison left. Yes. Back to the comparison trap. Yeah. You never watched Gilmore Girls. It's like any TV show, right? It's you either love it or you don't. Little House. Definitely. I'm collecting the DVDs. The Little House DVDs. There's something about it used to come on TV when I was a kid, right? And I remember watching it in my parents' room, and just the sound of the theme song coming on, it just makes you feel so warm. Oh, that's just such a great theme song. The other show that I rewatch and that I own all the DVDs for is Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. I love that show. I'm actually watching it with my husband currently. We just finished season 3, and we're going to move on to season 4. Yeah. So that's another show I love. Let's see. You bought the box set of Gilmore Girls. Nice. So obvious when the writers changed. Are we talking about Gilmore Girls? Yeah. Anyway, whatever. I know there are so many deep thoughts about that. Deep thoughts. I didn't watch the new Frasier. I haven't yet because I don't have that streaming service. I want to say my parents saw, maybe my dad watched some episodes. Am I getting that correct? But then they canceled it, didn't they? Didn't they cancel it? And I was really disappointed because what's her name? From Everybody Loves Raymond. I like her, and I can't think of her name. Patricia Heaton. She was playing a love interest, I think. And I was like, I really, because I was seeing like clips and stuff on social media, and I'm like, I really wanted to see that chemistry and see how they worked that. But I never got around to it. So hopefully I get to see at least what they produced so far. I know what Monk is. I don't know if I've ever seen a whole episode. Let's see. When Love Comes Softly, every once in a while, I'll rewatch that. Every once in a while, I'll rewatch it. Let's see. It's hilarious. Monk is hilarious. Okay, I'll have to check it out. The Twilight Zone, the music of the Twilight Zone scared you. It was creepy. It was definitely creepy. Let's see. But you're too much into the conversation. Would I restate the challenge? Absolutely. I got you. Not a problem. I can do that. You like both. You do miss Niles and the dad. Yeah. See, that's the thing. I love that they brought that Lilith is there, and their son is there, and you've got a new, set of characters, and that's, you appreciate that, because it's just you've got Frasier is a spinoff of Cheers, so again, it's so you have Lilith and Frasier from Cheers into a new situation, and then with this sequel situation, the sequel, whatever you call that, reboot. Again, you have a couple of familiar characters in a new season of life, But I mean, without Martin and Niles and Daphne, it's just, you know. Or Eddie. Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly. Okay. Let's see. Your son loves the Gilmore Girls theme song. We watched it a lot together when he was. Oh, that's precious. I love the Gilmore Girls theme song. Great song. Great song. I think I have it on one of my playlists. I think I have it on my fall playlist because it's Carole King. Love that. We watched The Waltons, Gunsmoke, and Andy Griffith. Classics. 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 Great stuff, you guys. Okay, let me restate the challenges. Okay, so there are two that are related, they go together. Number one, or first part, is to define what good health means to you. Spend a few minutes brainstorming and then write it down somewhere where you can see it often. And then define, in the same vein, define your why for moving toward and maintaining good health. Write it down somewhere you can see it every day. This will keep you motivated in the long term. And as I was saying earlier, as we're getting into the fall and winter seasons, this would be a good time before we're actually in it. It's still summer. I know kids are in school. And summer break is over and, people aren't, vacationing. What am I trying to say? Sorry. It's slowing down. That's what I'm trying to say. But it is not fall until September 22nd. So I'm still counting it summer. But I think this is a great opportunity to get a jump on thinking about how good health could look in the fall and winter months. And as we get into the new year as well. All right. And then the second challenge was, if you feel jealousy or comparison sneak up on you, see if you can turn those feelings into congratulations, celebration, or gratitude. So those are the suggestions for challenges. For you, fall is when the leaves start to turn and maybe when we get our first frost up in Pennsylvania. Nice. Fall in Texas takes so long to come. It takes so long. So even when September 22 arrives and the fall season has arrived on the calendar, it will not feel like it for another few weeks, many weeks, it feels like. It takes a long time for it to arrive and for the temperatures to drop. So, and being from the Midwest, it's frustrating every single year. I hate it. Every year. Let's see. You want to create a rewatch plan for cozy nights. All right. I love that. Same in California. Isn't it just annoying? Like, can we please just change the seasons? You found that asking people how they achieve success and being willing to learn is a great way to fight jealousy. I love that. That's maturity. I think it's very natural to feel a little jealous or to play the comparison game. I think that's natural. So to deny that, I think, is not reasonable. However, maturity is being able to redirect and to rephrase or reframe something. So I think you're exactly right, Christine. When you can, if you have access to that person, say, hey, I think it's really great that you did X, Y, and Z. Would you mind sharing how that worked for you? Would you mind sharing what that experience was like? However you want to phrase that. Be an admirer, not a hater. I love that because there's too much of that already, right? So can we do our small part? And it's a big thing, but can we just kind of put our 2 cents in and say, I'm going to be the kind of person who champions people's successes without, like, your success doesn't take away from me. There's room at the table for everybody. You're in Maine. Oh, leaves will start changing soon here. I'm so okay. I am not coveting your leaves. I'm not coveting at all. Oh man, that sounds lovely. And the reason being, I feel like you have fall for longer. right? So, yeah, send pictures. I feel like you have fall for longer, and I want fall for a longer period of time too. Oklahoma has its own seasons: winter, summer, winter, spring. Then out of the blue, we have this season that has been beautiful but rarely experienced. Yeah, fall. Yeah, I just miss it. I miss it. Um, you're in East Texas. Summer is super long. No stinking kidding. I'm in the DFW area, and it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, that's okay. There's always something to be grateful for. Let's reframe. Let's reframe. Here we go. I do not like summer. However, I am grateful for things like air conditioning. I am grateful to I'm grateful that I live in an area where the winters are mild. I am grateful for that. What else can I be grateful for in the summer? I'm going to need to work on that list. I'm going to need to work on that list. But anyway, God is good. And it's okay, even in extreme weather. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Because then, for every person who is struggling in the summertime, there are people in like the Northwest or even the Northeast who might be struggling during the wintertime. So, you enjoy all of the seasons for what they bring. You tend to lean toward the cozy feel of life. Same. I tend to lean toward the cozy. I just don't like the extremes. I don't like too cold. I don't like too hot. I love spring and fall. Unfortunately, I live in a place in the world where they're short-lived. Florida has none of that. So changing leaves will be all over your planners. I understand. I understand. And at least that we can sort of create the feelings, the experience in other ways. You are grateful that the beach is easily accessible all year. That's lovely. That's lovely. And see, that's the blessing of Florida. I'm in landlocked Texas, and a beach may be attached to a lake, but even then, they're not that accessible for me. So I've got to find other things to be grateful for. But I love that you have the beach. Okay, let's have a prayer. I've kept you all a little longer, but I've loved this conversation about rewatching and rereading. I hope you all have a wonderful Monday. Have a fantastic week. I'm going to work out and then I'm going to start working. Happy end of the month. And I hope that you have it. I hope that it's productive. I hope that it's what you need it to be. Let's see. Oh, okay, hold on. You're going to decorate your porch for fall and then sit out with your cozy coffee and probably sweat. I love that. Be grateful you have a front porch. I don't even have a front porch. I don't have a front porch. I've got a front step, but not a front porch. Let's see. One of your friends runs a year-long challenge to get outside 365 days a year. It helps to learn to appreciate all the seasons and the benefits that they bring. I love that. Mild winters. After living 13 years in Chicago, then 10 years in Puerto Rico, now in Texas, you got middle ground. I spent 17 years in Chicago, but I never had to drive in it, never had to I shoveled, I'm sure, once or twice, but I never had to deal with the hard parts of Chicago winters. But even still, I do appreciate the milder winters. I do. And then 10 years in Puerto Rico, now in Texas. Nice. Very nice. Have a great week. I hope it's all you needed to be. Happy end of August. Start thinking about planner stuff for 2026 and fourth quarter stuff as we get into the fall. Thankful that you don't live in Buffalo, New York. Hey, I feel like that would be some extreme weather up there. So yeah, for those of you who are in the Northeast and the Northwest, as they say, thoughts and prayers, because it's about to get cold and snowy. Although I do miss the snow at Christmas. I will say that. Okay, I'm going to have a quick prayer and then I will be signing off. Dear Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for this time that we get to spend together, to spend some moments talking about what we have going on in the week, talk about light and fun things, and just enjoy the simple things in life. Even if it's just rewatching a favorite show or reading a book. Um, Lord, we're just grateful for your blessings, and we're grateful for the opportunity to enjoy life, even in the midst of challenges and struggles, which I know we all have. You know what we're dealing with. You know how the past affects our decision making. You know what lies ahead of us. You know all of the variables and the options. And we're grateful that you hold all of that and we don't have to hold all of that. And we can just take one step at a time, knowing that we are already loved, that you already not just love us, but you like us and you want to be with us and you want to walk these, the way with us and you want to lead us. We're just grateful for that. And we don't have to know everything and we don't have to hold everything because you do. And we can trust that as you develop our discernment and that as you show us the way, that we can trust that it is the right way for us to go. So I ask that as we continue on in this new week, that you would help us navigate whatever situations are in front of us, that you would help us to notice when we might have to stop and readjust, when we might have to pay attention to somebody who might need something, when we might need to offer up what we have, what we may have to give. Lord, whatever it is, help us to show up in the world and in our lives with intentionality and with love and kindness and generosity, because that's how you've treated us and continue to be towards us. And so we just ask that you help us extend that to others. Thank you for all that you've promised to do, and help us to be mindful of what you've done for us already. Please be with anybody who is struggling with anything particularly or especially difficult and challenging this week or in this season, whether it's family, finances, health, relationships, whatever, work, career, education. I just ask that you would be with anybody who is struggling to make decisions about how to move forward, and that they would seek your wisdom in all things. Thank you so much for all your blessings, and we ask all of these things in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Have a wonderful week, you guys. We'll talk to you all later, and we'll see you next month. Lord willing, September 1st. Have a great one. I'll talk to you all later. If you need anything, you know where to find me. Bye.